And the Mendis wicket, the Hassan Ali ball.
I'm going to watch the reverse now.
Looked like I'll just pop it out there, out to point. It was just already looked comfortable and calm as he came to the crease on the back of 2 wickets and 3 balls, which can unsettle players, but having him back in the team sort of makes it so much more solid.
Oh, and talking about solid, he gets a perler short of a leg just outside off stump and beats him, flies through to Sarfaraz.
I was just looked like his pace had gone up just a couple of notches. There was something that had just happened and it just ticked up, whether visually or scientifically.
This ball's outside our stump, comes off the bottom of Mathews' bat and dribbles out 2 point. They take no run.
And when I say scientifically, the speed radar thing, whether either one of those two, or might have been the length that he was bowling, so the visual bit can make you appear to look to be bowling fast. But
he certainly started rushing the batsman a bit more, didn't
just something happened, and then all of a sudden that one to Mendis just zinged on through, and
the zing bails,
the pink popcorn explosion on top of the stumps, and it was
a beautiful ball. Reverse swing and seam, I think was fine. This ball is back of a length, and it's well punched by Mathews, actually, out to short cover. They take no run. They're certainly not going to take too many chances off him. He has bowled beautifully in the last 2 games. He bowled quite well, actually, in the first game against India as well. It was until he came on at the death and suddenly went from bowling beautiful length and going for Yorkers. And I say going for Yorkers, he didn't hit many Yorkers. And got a bit of tap from an Indian lineup who was ready to attack also. But he's still got the slip in. And Mathews, he's completely trying to just blunt him at this stage. It looked like he was defending that on the front foot before it was bowled. Goes to short cover. There's no run. It's 86 for 3 at the end of the 17th over.
A little bit of Craig White whip in Hassan Ali's action.
Craig White whip. That was
the
name of my second album.
yeah, it's my favourite one you've made as well. I reckon there's just a little bit of because Craig White had an amazingly whippy shoulder. The back shoulder would just all of a sudden appear and the ball would fling out. Never played against him, watched a lot of him play for Yorkshire and for England. I reckon Hassan Ali's just got that, and that's where that kind of where he rushes you, because you're just not quite ready for it. The sort of Wazzy Akram thing, the arm just appears all of a sudden, the ball's quicker than it actually is. He was fast, but the ball's even quicker.
Well, there's no doubt that he looks slower, much quicker than Fahim at the other end, although this ball does get up, and Dickwella turns it around the corner, and he's going to steal too. That's good running. Just turn this around the corner off his ribs, and I don't know what Fine Leg was doing. Fine Leg doesn't seem to have moved at all. Is that Amir down there?
It's just warming
up. Now wants a drink, I think, for not running. Craig White was very whippy. Had very slingy action, wasn't he? Hassan's a bit more like Wazim Akram, perhaps.
He's a bit more taller, but there's just that. I'm talking about the whip. I'm not talking about the action. I'm just talking about all of a sudden it just slides on. It's like you put a bowling machine on 125 versus facing a bowler that's bowling 125 kilometres an hour. There is a massive difference, because you just don't see it come out of the bowling machine.
Oh, and this cuts back, and Dickwella, who's batted so well, almost gets an inside edge. He could have dragged that back onto the stumps. And just seeing again, that was just a cross-seam delivery.
Yeah,
but it did hold up. It did hold up when it hit the pitch.
Yeah, there's a couple of cross-seamers in the previous over from the Cathedral and the Hassan Ali over. It's noticed, and you could actually see even from here, 60, 70 metres away, you could actually see the ball.
We'd be on the field at the MCG.
Well, if we were square, we'd be on the field as well. Thankfully, we're not.
Fahim coming in again. There's no slip in now for Dickwella. And this ball's down the leg side, and Murray Erasmus puts his arms out and he calls it away. Murray Erasmus, or as Harmy called him a couple of games ago, Marasmus. Harmy, if you're listening. Score is 89 for 3 after 17.2 overs.
He is a wonderfully gentle man. You need to pick your target.
Yeah,
he is a bit big.
It was actually great in the last game. All the wires we have under the desk. It's like a giant praying mantis trying to come out of the desk. He was almost kneeing himself in the face. I think he took down 4 producers. This is full and outside off stump, but Dickwella leaves that. I didn't think it was that wide actually, but Murray Rasmus decides that we were wrong. Bowler a little bit upset with that. In fact, much more upset with that. He's coming round the wicket now, so he's bowled a wide down the leg side, and then he's overcompensated bowled a wide outside off stump. You see that a lot with youngish bowlers.
I'm watching the batsman here. So just because Dickwella, just because this partnership has to perform to get them back in the 2 wickets, 3 balls, 82 for 1, and then all of a sudden in a bit of pain. Just watching how Dickwella starts this partnership again, and he's still on top. He's not taking a step back.
In fact, he has taken a step back, and he tried to flay this to point. So he took a step back and came down the wicket a little bit, I think. So he hit it quite well, but straight to back a point for no run.
He hasn't taken those 2 wickets on board as a I need to change the way I'm batting, I need to be more circumspect. He's taken it as I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, which is exactly the right thing. Keep going what you're doing, because if you take too much of a step back, you end up in that hole
or square leg.
And then you end up allowing the bowlers to dominate, and as soon as the bowlers dominate, the run rate comes down and you start losing wickets because you have to go and find ways. He's still shifting around the crease. He got the wide down the leg side, he then got the wide outside off stump because he was moving around.
He's moving again. This time he moves across his stumps, but he just drops the ball on the offside, and he's just going to take 1 run. So Angelo Mathews is going to be back on strike. So Dickwella is 46 off 46. Mathews has faced 9 balls for 1 run.
He's just making the bowler just trying to freak the bowler out a little bit, for lack of a better word, to cause some anxiety, for the bowler. Like,
get in his mind, man.
Where am I going to end up? That's what he's trying to tell the bowler. Like, where am I going to end up? I'm going to take a step backwards. I'm going to have a little shuffle across. Where am I going to be at bowling point? And that just makes the bowler, who hasn't played a lot of cricket, makes the bowler think.
We've got a slip in for Mathews, but this ball's a little bit too straight, and it's turned on the leg side. Dickwella almost runs into Fahim as he goes through, but they do go through for the single. There's 1 ball to go in this over.
And by doing that, you force mistakes. Yeah. And as a bowler, sometimes that's awesome when you see the batsman start to do that, because that means the batsman's trying to change you. And that means if he's doing that, you've got an opportunity as a bowler to make him make a mistake, to get him to make a mistake.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. But then as a bowler, you have to be strong and ignore what the batsman's doing and just keep trying to bowl where you're supposed to be bowling. Bowl your best ball.
Last ball of Fahim's 4th over in international cricket, and this is outside of stump and steered beautifully by Dickwella. He's just going to get a single out to 3rd man. That's the end of my stint. It's 93 for 3. You're listening to TalkSport 2 and Cricket Radio, and I'll leave you with Ian O'Brien, and we'll be raced by Ian Dance.
So he's just still moving around, and he's just putting that pressure on. As I said, only 4 overs in international cricket. A bit of cricket behind him, but in terms of international experience, in terms of anxiety levels, when you come into a game of cricket, a big game of cricket, a knockout game of cricket, in essence a quarter-final, Dickwella's trying to put as much pressure, trying to feed his anxiety levels as best as he can to make him make a mistake. He got the 2 wides, but I think Fahim still nailed that over, still got out of that over pretty well, even given that little bit of pressure that in-batsman Dickwella was putting on him. Good afternoon, Ian.
Yes, it is afternoon now. Dooley was about half an hour out, but it is indeed afternoon
3
now.
3 minutes in.
Sun burning off the cloud here at the Cardiff Wales Stadium, getting brighter and brighter. And it's a much more even contest than when I last put the microphone down. 93 for 3 now at Sri Lanka. 18 overs gone. And Hassan Ali, who I saw bowl so brilliantly against South Africa at Edgbaston last week.
I love his celebration.
Oh, man.
I absolutely love his celebration.
Freddie Flintoff times 10. In he comes to bowl to Dickwella, who turns the ball round the corner, edging towards a half century. We'll just get a single for that down to fine leg. Moves on to 48. Dickwella. Angelo Mathews, the thick-set captain of Sri Lanka, is 2 not out. He will face the next delivery. These sides, remember, ranked 7 and 8 in ODI cricket. One of them's going to get through to a semi-final. Says a lot for their ability to come back from poor starts in this tournament.
There's only one team from the World Cup semi semi-finals that's going to make the semi-finals in this. There's only one team of those four top World Cup teams that are going to make that can make the semis here, which is wonderful for cricket.
Pakistan, the 8th-ranked side, with Hassan Ali coming into bowl to Mathews, tries to square him up, but he just turns that without too much fuss out on the leg side to just back with a square leg for a single.
I'm going to go with Hassan Ali as a wrestling fan. You know, the WWE wrestling?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Oh,
I'm
you're
a
thinking
big
of like
watcher.
Chris Jericho or something?
No. His celebration, and it's just come to me because I've seen it a few times now.
Yeah.
Wonderfully,
yes.
his celebration, because he's bowled well. And it's only just come to me who his celebration, who he's watched and is imitating, mimicking, if you like.
Go on.
I'll tell you after
All
this
right.
ball. That's
Here
that
it comes.
radio
Ali
thing, isn't it?
Coming in for the Cathedral Road end to bowl to Dickwella, and he just plays it straight back at the bowler. Thought about going for a single because Hassan Ali pushed it out to the left-hand side, but he quickly got to his feet and got it, so Dickwella stayed at home, no run.
I watch pretty much every bit of wrestling that's on TV at the moment, which is way too much. Don't tell anybody else that. But his celebration, sort of hands into the middle and then does a big wide arm explosion.
Yes.
Very, very similar to the Irish current, well, he's Irish, but Finn Balor, who's in the WWE at the moment. Only a new guy, so if you've not been around for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm more.
You've not been watching. No one here.
I'm a
wrestling?
World of Sport 1970s Kendo Nagasaki Mick McManus kind of man when it comes to my giant haystacks. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Hassan Ali round the wicket this time to Dickwella, but it's slanted down leg side and pushed into the mid-wicket area where Dickwella will get one. Wanted his second for the half century, but he's sent back by Mathews, so he's on 49. Angelo Mathews on 3. Yeah, you see, when we grew up in the UK, wrestling in the 70s was
Channel 4? Was it TV?
It was ITV actually.
ITV.
It was 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
What a great
Before the
time.
football results came in, you had 45 minutes of wrestling, and Les Kellett, the Charlie Chaplin of wrestling, one of the funniest comic actors you will ever see, just happened to be inside a wrestling ring while he was doing it.
I'm such a big fan of it. Come on.
Hassan Ali coming in again to bowl to Angelo Mathews, and he just lets that go outside off stump. Oohs and ahs from the crowd, but Mathews knew where his off stump was.
In my next break, I'm going to put together a little image of who does it better.
Okay.
The thing is,
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
Okay.
Finn does it. He's one of the sort of speedos wearing wrestlers.
They're all like that, aren't they?
A lot of them wear shorts or the one piece, across
a
your
lot
shoulders.
of lycra, basically.
But he's just basically a little black pair of speedos.
Yeah.
And like just a bit. Not enough on him, like he's just like there's no fat on him, like literally no fat on him.
Hassan Ali bowling to Mathews, has a swish at that one and misses. It was well outside off stump, and he minimal foot movement and tried to cut it away through the offside, but it went straight through to Sarfaraz. That's the end of the Hassan Ali over. He's bowled 4, 1 for 13 with no maidens, and Sri Lanka 96 for 3 on TalkSport 2 in the UK. And around the world on Channel 2 Cricket Radio. Good to have you with us here today.
And now I'm thinking about, because it's obviously a scripted celebration.
Yes.
And now I'm thinking about bowlers that had quite obvious scripted celebrations, because a lot of celebrations are just sort of spur of the moment. You like.
Monty had his little hop, didn't he?
Yeah,
Which wasn't quite scripted, but he did like a little hop around.
Brett Lee had the little skip of the heels. Dale Steyn has the start the chainsaw.
Yeah, the
fist pump, start the chainsaw, lawnmower. And there are a few scripted ones. I had a bit of a jump and punch the air, but whatever. But that is a proper scripted celebration, and I like it. I like him for it, because other people will do that, and other people will take an interest in cricket because of that, and that makes the game way more colourful. Much more colourful, I should say.
Change of bowling here, Ian, actually, at the Riverside end, at our end of the ground. Mohammed Hafiz is coming on for his right arm off breaks. Bowling to Dickwella, who remembers on 49, one shy of a half century for Sri Lanka as they try and regain a foothold in this first innings. And the first of his way down the wicket. Half-hearted claim for LBW by Sarfaraz, and Dickwella was a good 3 paces down the wicket, and there's no run taken. 96 for 3.
No grip, that first one.
No.
Just going to have a little look on grip, see if there is any sort of grip for the spinner.
Hafiz up to the wicket, round the wicket to Dickwella. Bosnia just clips it off his heels, and that will be the half century. Just played to that short fine leg. 50 to Niroshan Dickwella, and he's key to this innings now for Sri Lanka, with Two of the big batsmen back in the hut. Mathews at the other end on 3 not out. Good effort from Niroshan Dickwella.
And I love looking at body language as well when you're at the ground, and just that little, not the handshake, the cool one where you go thumbs together and pump, that
all
cool
the fist
thing.
bump or all that.
Yeah, just that little bit just there between Angelo and Mathews. There was some real sort of steel, and that they just held it for a little bit longer, and there was the bicep flex was just like, yeah, come on, let's keep running this, let's keep rolling with this.
Yeah.
So just that little bit of sort of trying to transfer feelings between each other.
Hafiz over the wicket. So Mathews gets an edge, and there's no slip in place, and that's going to go straight down, very fine, down to third man. It will be fielded down there and sent back in by Junaid Khan. And Mathews takes 2 runs off that little streaky edge off his first delivery from Mohammad Hafiz.
Junaid Khan used to have that little skip hop at the top of his run-up. I don't know if you remember that. Looks like Hafiz has found Junaid Khan's skip hop. Have a watch, Hafiz.
Yeah, we'll watch
there it is.
Oh yeah, little hop up to the wicket. Bowls to Mathews. Straightforward forward defensive. Out to the short mid-wicket fielder. No run.
I'm off at the end of the over, but I do want to know if Derek Pringle had a celebration that he would go to. If he did have a slightly scripted celebration.
Right, that's been lodged in Derek Pringle's mind. He will come up with that in a moment here on TalkSport 2 as the next delivery is edged again by Mathews, but this time it's not quite as fine. And at that short third man, Junaid was able to pick it up, and they just went through for a single there. So 100 up for the loss of 3 wickets for Sri Lanka as we have the last ball coming up in this 20th over.
Just skidding, isn't it? It's just sort of skidding. There's rotation on the ball, but it's just sort of kissing and skidding.
Not gripping, yeah.
It's certainly not hitting the seam. They're sort of all scrambled and wound up.
Round the wicket to Dickwella, who dances down the pitch, and again it wraps the pads, and the how is that shout was from the skipper Sarfraz. Waved away by umpire Erasmus. End of the 20th over. 100 for 3. Sri Lanka. Dickwella 50. And Mathews on 6. Chandimal the last to go, bowled off his second delivery by Fahim, making his ODI debut today for Pakistan. And Derek Pringle has replaced Ian O'Brien alongside me in the commentary box. Did you have a scripted celebration for taking a wicket, Derek?
Ian, bowlers of my era, I mean, that was our job to take wickets. What are you celebrating? You're there to do that. Just get on with it.
I think Ian's referring to the theatre. The theatre, darling.
There's no theatre. Essex 2 used to winning. We don't need to make things theatrical.
Fahim is switching ends now. Coming onto the Cathedral